Close your eyes. When you hear the word adrenaline, what do you think of? Is it going on a roller coaster, or is it simply getting in the car to go for a ride? For some, they seek high amounts of adrenaline. Webster defines adrenaline as a substance that is released in the body of a person who is feeling a strong emotion, and that causes the heart to beat faster and gives the person more energy. What is it that brings a big rush of adrenaline? Austin Joplin began racing at the age of 12 years old, though he has been passionate about the sport since he was old enough to see his dad race. He is also involved with Willard's football team and track.
My dad raced when I was younger, and he just kind of was the one that introduced me to the sport. And through his encouragement and his interest in it, I became interested, and then it kind of took off from there. I got hooked, and now it's just something that we do together. It's a family deal, and he's really just showed me how to hone the craft and really be passionate about it.
The most impressive thing I've seen Austin do when it comes to racing is, and he's even told me this, his car doesn't have like all the great stuff that all the other racers' cars has. Like, he hasn't put as much money into it. And so I saw him get like 5th place out of like 16. And knowing that he doesn't have as good a car, you just know that's just sheer talent and racing ability.
One obstacle we faced, we're a low funding type of racing program. We're by no means struggling for money or anything. We do just fine. But compared to a lot of the teams we race against, we're really low budget. Our car itself has been, it's a 2008 model chassis with a motor in it that's got about 130 races on it, which is a lot for a racing motor. And I mean, we still do fine, and I'm lucky to have the equipment that we have, but it just makes it difficult sometimes running against guys who have brand new equipment and that kind of thing. A lot more cash behind their setup.
We started, of course, in go-karts. We had other friends that did it, and I used to race a lot. So I started him on a go-kart at a fairly young age, not as young as some, but he had 2 or 3 pretty successful seasons in that to start with, and his grandpa, he's gone now, but he always wanted to see him in a race car.
I've been with him since preschool pretty much, so I've got to see him change more than a lot of people probably have. But I think when it comes to his racing career, I've seen a lot of change just as he got older. He got a lot more committed to it, and at this point in time, it's pretty much, if it doesn't revolve around his car, you know, he's not near as interested, and that's something I really like about him. He's just really committed to what he does, and you can tell he loves it.
Game 5, Carthage freshman year football. Austin faced a season-ending injury. He tore his left ACL, MCL, and meniscus.
Back as a freshman, I think like game 3, he tore his ACL. So, you know, a kid like him, he was real bummed having to miss his freshman year of athletics. But it just kind of shows what kind of kid he is to get back to where he is now. You know, he didn't dwell on it.
It was devastating at first to him, you know, thinking about long term. But once he had his surgery, he went in, you know, both barrels blazing. He wanted to get better. He wanted to get back out on the football field. He wanted to do things. So he did all the physical therapy that we wanted him to do, that they suggested he do to get back into sports. And he did not want to quit. He's not a quitter. I'll give him that. He does not like to lose at anything.
In fall of 2018, there was a hunting accident that left many people in shock. Football coach Justin Atchison passed away. This was a time of grief for many of the students and athletes at Willard.
He was just one of us, and
Sorry.
No, it's all right. He was, you know, all of our best friends as far as coaches. He also had a lot of best friends on the team, and in many aspects, you know, he was a little brother to me, and he was a big brother to them.
One of the things he did that, I mean, I don't think I could ever do is, one, whenever our coach, Atch, passed away, he dedicated his racing to him. He had a hood with his name on it and everything. And Austin managed to turn his emotions, negative emotions, sadness and all that into like a drive, like a personal drive, and I personally could not do that. Like that, it was kind of heartbreaking for me. It was more of a moment where like I just had to stop and drop everything. Austin like kept going and kept going harder, and he's just a very selfless person.
Racing has been a big part of Austin's life. However, it has made it harder to stay connected with friends.
I feel kind of like I'm a little bit different from everybody else, just in the fact that what I do is different and my life is different, and I'm blessed to be that way because I get to experience a lot of things that a lot of people don't get to experience. Most people will never sit behind the wheel of a race car, and I'm sorry that that's the way it is, because it's a truly fantastic, life-changing thing. And sometimes it's hard to explain that to people because there's no real way to know how that is without actually doing it. It's totally unlike anything that I've ever done before, after, and I ever will do again in my life. You're on the edge of just control. You're kind of, as cheesy as it sounds, you're in the zone, you're one with the car. You don't really have to think. Everything feels right. You're just, hard to explain, but it's really nice to have that experience, but it's also different from a lot of people. But honestly, I've got such great friends and such great family that I always feel like I've got somebody I can talk to and somebody that's on my side. Before a race, I will climb in the car and strap myself down, put my headstock on, helmet, gloves, Hans device, check everything over. Then I say a quick prayer, head up to stage and try to clear my head before it starts.